Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to another edition of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode on the channel. Just 2 races remain in the regular season, and we're about to get into the next one right here, right now on this Sunday afternoon. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We got full race live streams with a realistic commentary for NASCAR video games, for actual races like we did last night with the Xfinity Series, and next weekend with the Cup Series at Talladega, and much, much more. And this is going to be a very, very interesting race to say the least. Practice was pretty fast. As you see, my best lap, 2:05.412, even faster in the first session of qualifying, then into the second session of qualifying. Our fastest lap was a 2:04.215. That is faster than any lap I've ever ran at Road America, but it was only fast enough to qualify third because Denny Hamlin and Eric Almirola, who will be starting on the front row, were even faster in qualifying. Joey Logano looked like one of the faster cars in practice earlier on as well. So these are probably going to be the 4 drivers to look out for here today. 2 races remain, as mentioned, in the regular season standings. You will see on the left side of your screen the current point standings coming into this race today. Drivers who are locked into the playoffs on wins would be Keegan Schneider, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Matt DiBenedetto, Matt Kenseth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and John Hunter Nemechek. One driver is locked in on points no matter what happens in these final 2 races of the regular season. That would be Denny Hamlin. He is still winless this year, though. Starting on the pole, he'll have a good shot to get his first win of the season today. And drivers who are comfortably above the cutoff line would include Ryan Newman, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, and then even Eric Almirola at plus 80. Final driver on points above the cutoff line is Clint Bowyer. Boyer's 28 points above the cutoff line. It was a lot closer than that. He actually gained 21 points on the driver he is racing for that final spot on points of BJ McLeod. McLeod had a rough performance at Talladega, but looking to turn things around, he looked very fast in qualifying, top 10 for him. McLeod is, of course, 28 points below the cutoff line. Chase Elliott has lost some ground. He went from 41 points back going into Talladega to now 58 points back. Alex Bowman has closed that gap considerably to 59 points below the cutoff line. He had a great day at Talladega. Needs to have another great day today at Road America and tomorrow night at Martinsville. And then William Byron, probably the long shot of drivers who can still make it in on points. 92 points below the cutoff line. Ethan Cars One Boy, welcome to the stream. 2:04.215. That's a really fast time. Yes, it is. I don't know why it said my goal time was a 2:02.442. That just didn't make any sense. I wasn't going to get that at all this weekend. I don't even think that's possible. Even the pole sitter, Denny Hamlin, ran a 2:03.6, if I'm not mistaken. And then Almirola had a 2:03.8 and qualified second. So starting third, we'll see what's going to happen in today's race. 50 laps is going to be the scheduled distance for this one. David Reagan and Cole Custer will be starting at the rear. Michael McDowell just doesn't seem to have the speed. He's usually pretty good on the road courses, but struggling at Road America throughout practice. So the green flag is about to wave. Road America on this final career mode season. 2 more races to the playoffs, and the green flag is going to fly. Schneider trying to go 3 wide. Barely enough room between Hamlin and the grass. On the outside lane, Schneider goes from third to first on the initial start. And Denny Hamlin obviously lost a spot to the 99, but also a spot on the inside lane to the 10 of Almirola. Not wasting any time at all. Only 11 laps in stage 1. Schneider wants another playoff point if he can help it. Thought for a second he was going to go a little too hot into the corner. He uses that excess pavement to perfection. Almirola's looked really good on the road courses this season. He has not won a race, obviously, yet this year, but very early in the year when we had 3 road courses in the first 9 races, it was Almirola who had put on a pretty good show. Schneider up on the curbing, and Almirola will make the pass now. In that next corner, Schneider tries the dive bomb late going in to the inside, but Almirola pinches him down, not allowing him to get the corner exit run. Battling within the top 3 here early on. Schneider beats Almirola back to the gas as they enter into the kink. And again, Schneider a little bit quicker in the kick. Pulls out to make a move. Almirola trying to block and to make contact. Danger spot on the racetrack to be making contact at that, but Schneider will grab the lead right back. And Almirola is going to try to fight back to the outside into the next corner. Outside lane not going to work as the top three start to pull away despite the battling between the 10 and the 99 on lap 1. Schneider will lead lap 1, 10 to go in stage 1. Drivers can make it on fuel to the end of the stage without having to pit. We'll see what the tire wear will look like as well. First race for NASCAR in the Cup Series at Road America. Of course, they raced there earlier this season, but this is a 2020 video game, so they would have never raced at Road America up at this point in time. Yeah, it looks like if I had to predict the champion for the IndyCar Series coming into their final race today, I'd probably say Alex Palou will win with a 35-point lead. But because the final race is double points, I mean, if he has an issue at any point in this race, the door is wide open. Those other two drivers behind him that still have a chance. I think Brad Doherty kind of said it best during the Xfinity race last night that it's his to lose. Still got to race the race, so just have to see what'll happen there. I was looking at the chat. I'm thankful I did not spin out that time. That's obviously going to mess that corner up and allow Almirola to pull in quite a bit more. So I got to try to get that rhythm back again. Scott Dixon's like the Jimmy Johnson of IndyCar, pretty much. Schneider off to about a 1.5 second lead on Eric Almirola early on. And the pole sitter Hamlin, who has lost those 2 spots in that opening corner of the race, is still sitting in 3rd. Joey Logano not far behind Hamlin, though. Schneider with this clean air advantage did not want to waste any time. He knows how fast the 10 and the 11 can be in the clean air. Making that not really much of a dive bomb move to go 3 wide into turn 1 because he was on the outside lane, but just to have, I mean, the slimmest of margin between Denny Hamlin's race car and the grass, and he was able to keep it on the track and make his way around. Hamlin seemingly holding up Kyle Busch and Joey Logano back there. It's the last road course race of the regular season. We do have 2 road course races in the playoffs. Watkins Glen and the Charlotte Roval will still be upcoming on the schedule. Our regular season finale will be tomorrow, as mentioned, on the channel at Martinsville, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard start time there. We'll keep an eye on the bubble battle throughout the course of today's race, but I will not be updating the points throughout this race. I will do that during the Martinsville race tomorrow at the end of every stages, but as far as today's race goes, you'll only see the points coming into the race. Just have to do the math in our heads, I guess, throughout the course of it, as far as where Clint Boyer is at versus BJ McLeod. And obviously, if Bowman or Elliott can get a good run going, if anybody can that's below the cutoff line have a solid day today, you'd have to assume it'd be Chase Elliott. He won this race in real life this season, and we know how good Chase Elliott is on these road courses. He's led the first 3 laps. Doing a perfect job hitting his marks here through the first three. This is definitely the toughest road course of any of the top three series in NASCAR to get momentum. And how you do that on a road course, you simply just have to hit your marks lap after lap. But because this is a 4-mile road course, it takes over 2 minutes to make a lap around here, even as the fastest car in the field, the fastest cars in the field will not be able to get a lap in less than 2 minutes. That you really have to be on your A game if you're going to hit your marks lap after lap. It's very, very difficult to get a rhythm on any road course, let alone right here at Road America. Likely not going to be seeing any lap traffic, I'd have to imagine, in the first two stages of the race. Maybe in the final stage. Something else we got to look out for is how the cautions may play out. We have not had a road course race this season with more than 3 cautions through the first 4 road course races. So knowing that 3 cautions has kind of been the max so far this year, you definitely don't want to give up that track position as much as you possibly can. Just bank on you getting a restart to get back up here. You really need to be at the front as much as you possibly can. You're going to guess for 5 cautions today. Is that counting the stages or not counting the stages? Most we've had is 3 per incident, I should say. That was Schneider's fastest lap in the first 4, 2:05.060. It's going to be tough to hit his marks like he did in qualifying. He's really just trying to take care of the tires while he's out ahead right now and not trying to push the car as hard as he can. There's a difference between running the opening laps of the race versus the closing laps. When he has to push hard late in the race, you may see those lap times start to drop, but right now you're not going to see it so much. Doing a good job, so wide push the car. Overly aggressive. So you think there's going to be 5 cautions without the stage breaks? I don't know. I'd be shocked if we did have more than 3, honestly, with the way the road course races have gone so far. It's the 5th road course race of the season out of 7. And again, the 5th and final for the regular season. Keep looking at the chat on that straightaway, and I keep clipping the grass. Gotta be careful of that. The car's just gonna spin out on me one of these times. Keep looking at the chat in the wrong areas of the racetrack. Turn 1 was probably the most difficult corner for me in practice and qualifying. Qualifying, not so much. I pretty much got the car under control there. But I ran 9 laps of practice just trying to get this line down, knowing that we haven't raced here with the Cup cars. It was going to be a new track, so I wanted to make sure it's going to be on my best game, trying to hit my marks. And of the 3 long straightaways on this racetrack, the hardest braking zone for me was that right-handed 90-degree turn in turn 1. Very flat, too. Really, most of the corners around this track are flat. The elevation changes are seemingly on the straightaways more than anything else, but it does make for a blind corner right there as you went uphill. Really the only blind turn on the racetrack. top 5 has not changed really since lap 2. Still got Schneider in the lead. You still got Almirola in second, Denny Hamlin third, Kyle Busch fourth, and Joey Logano rounding out the top 5. Schneider made a little bit of a mistake off the exit of that last corner. Almirola gained a couple tenths of a second, but still about 3 seconds off the race lead. Hamlin still kind of holding up Kyle Busch and Logano, it looks like. Maybe Denny not looking as fast as what he was when he qualified on the pole. We'll see what adjustments they can make to that 11 car throughout the course of the race to hopefully get it back to where he needs it if he wants to win his first race of the season. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles in the early going of this race, starting at the start-finish line this time. Even though this is a long racetrack, only being 50 laps in length, this race will fly by. So having that good qualifying effort for all these drivers that you're seeing at the front of the field right now is very, very important. And how about Eric Almirola? He came in, yes, 15th in the standings, and although he is 80 points above the cutoff line, you never know if we get an upset winner either today or at Martinsville. That can put Almirola into having to beat Clint Boyer for that last spot, where the points battle will be even tighter. It's very good for Eric that he is running inside the top 5 here early on, looking to get a lot of stage points in stage 1. See exactly how fast this race course is. Many times you find speeds of over 160, 170 plus miles an hour. Even to turn 1 in practice, I was hitting speeds of about 183, 184 before having to drop the gear and get onto the brakes. Seems like Eric Almirola continues to kind of struggle in that finishing corner on the racetrack, if any. Pit road will close with 2 laps to go on the stage for anybody that wants to short pit. Schneider's committed for himself, at least, to just staying out of the pits here. I mean, why would you want to pit the track position he has had and a chance to get another playoff point? $78 wins, that would be very, very simple. Well, he doesn't have to win to get into the playoffs. He's 28 points behind Boyer. That is makeable in 2 races. Not even a half a race worth of points back. It is very well makeable. He just has a solid day compared to the 14. Clint Boyer does have a win on a road course in his NASCAR Cup Series career. 1 career win at Sonoma. Obviously, we don't know too much about BJ McLeod because he has looked at his own race team, looked fast, and he hasn't really had competitive equipment in his short Cup Series career. We'll see how he can fare. Again, I don't know exactly where he qualified. I know in round 1 of qualifying he was 10th. I don't know where he qualified in that second session. But a top 10 performance today would be huge for BJ McLeod, especially if he could be in the top 10 all day and get some stage points along the way. hammered down on the longest straightaway of the racetrack. Look at the speedometer on the lower right-hand corner of the screen. 188 miles an hour that time before having to brake into turn 1. A lot of stress on these engines and the transmission having to do that and drop the speedometer down to under 100 just to make it through turn 1. Shift into first gear there, almost overran that corner. Using all the curving. Snyder had to really slow that car down abruptly off the exit. I believe it was turn 6. Really got to grip the throttle all the way through that corner. Very long. Right great into the kink that time. Schneider might have lost a little bit of ground to Almirola, but he had a good first half of the lap. He was actually able to pull out to about 4 seconds ahead of the 10 car. He'll be coming to 2 laps to go in the stage this time by. They're definitely getting pretty spaced apart now. We're almost 10 laps complete. This long 4-mile road course. Oh yeah, Wreckfest. There's a lot of you guys down in the chat play Wreckfest. Hamlin 10.5 seconds off the lead. 189 miles an hour that time before entering turn 1. And had to drop it all the way down from 189 miles an hour to 70 to make it through that first turn. That's just insane. Pit road is closed as we had 2 laps to go in the stage. Schneider has dominated the early going of the race, has led every lap so far in stage 1. Have to assume the field will be pitting during the stage break. 40% left on that left front tire, but he's taking care of it pretty well so far. Until it gets to 30% or below, then the car's going to get a little bit looser, but for right now it seems to be alright for this opening stage, and it probably will be pretty good for stage 2 as well. Now remember, this race was 10 laps longer in real life. It was a 60-lap race versus this being a 50-lap race in this game, so even shorter of a length. Down to a 3.5 second gap roughly at the start-finish line. Final lap now on stage 1 this time by. Sorry, you're right, yeah, 62-lap race. Top two cars seem to be way ahead of the rest of the field on speed, at least in the opening stage. Just going to have to wait to see what Logano and Kyle Busch can do, if they can maybe have a quicker pit stop, gain some positions there, and try to get up there with Schneider and Almirola. We've seen this battle before between the 99 and the 10 on the road course races this season. This is no shock. To battle it out for the win at Sonoma earlier this year. On the very first road course race of the season, they also finished 1-2 in the second road course race of the year as well. Almirola's got 3 top 3 finishes on road courses. Schneider has 3 top 3 finishes as well on road courses. Difference is Almirola 0 wins. Schneider's got 2 of them on road course races so far this season. Green, white, checkered flag in the air as they come to the start-finish line this time. Keegan Schneider will win Stage 1 at Road America. Eric Almirola brings it home in second. Waiting on the rest of the top 10 to cross the start-finish line now. That's the 33rd stage win of the season for Keegan Schneider. Talk about video game numbers. That's just insane. We still got 3 more possible stage wins before we get to the end of the regular season. That's not even counting the playoff races. Mercury, welcome to the stream. 4 tires of fuel coming up for all of these teams onto pit road. No adjustments to the 99 car, looking pretty sporty early on. And how about BJ McLeod? 8th place in stage 1, getting 3 stage points at Clint Boyer. Nowhere to be found inside the top 10. In fact, Boyer was 20th at the end of the opening stage. McLeod going to lose a couple spots on pit road. It looks like Schneider will win the race out of the pits. Kyle Busch gains 1 spot on Denny Hamlin. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Stage 2 underway at Road America. 10 laps in the second stage. Oh, and Schneider overcooks it into turn 1. A little too much speed that time, and Almirola's going to get to the front. Contact, there's a 3 wide, trying to funnel into turn 2. Schneider trying to get his way back on the racetrack before he ran out of apron. And when he did that, he ran into the side of Kyle Busch, because Busch was already alongside Denny Hamlin. Schneider's led every lap so far. He's going to try to charge on Almirola and not let that 10 car get away. Really deep into the braking zone in turn 5 that time as he's trying to close. Really the first time Schneider's had to be on the attack so far today. Making a mistake on the restart, just way too hot into turn 1. Really weird to time that corner off on the restarts. It's a lot different than when you're going in there at full speed. So you don't really know exactly how to take that corner when you're not up to speed yet. Schneider definitely starting to close back on Almirola again. Big time in that corner, and he may have a chance to still lead this lap when they get back to the line. Into the kink. Schneider closes in. Contact! That was dangerous. Side by side, but Schneider will get back to the front. A lot better in the kink that time. Definitely pushed it pretty hard to get around the 10. Kyle Busch is pulling away from Hamlin in third. We'll see if he can challenge for the lead with the front 2. Busch less than 2 seconds off the lead, and he's less than a second off of second place, Eric Almirola. A lot better into turn 1 that time now that they are up to speed. really good in turn 2. Under 82 miles an hour before the braking zone, dropping it all the way to just under 50 miles an hour to make it through that corner. Almirola and Kyle Busch a lot harder on the brakes than Schneider that time as well, and they closed the gap considerably into turn 5. Now up through 6 and 7. Schneider gaps him right back. Another hard 90-degree corner coming up in turn 8. Seems to be where Schneider's at his best on the racetrack. These next couple corners leading into the kink. That's, of course, where he passed Almirola once and then set up to pass him back on lap 1 as well in this race. Kyle Busch definitely putting a lot of pressure on Almirola to try and get around him right now, and you wonder if Busch could maybe quietly be the fastest car in the field. It just seems like as the laps wind on, Almirola slowly falls behind Schneider, and that's why Schneider beat him by 3 seconds in stage 1. It had as big as a 4 to 4.5 second lead at one point in the stage. Schneider trying to go for 3 wins in a row, coming off wins at his home track in Michigan and then Talladega a couple nights ago on Friday. Won both stages and the race in both of those races as well. He clinched the regular season championship after his win at Talladega yesterday, so 2 races before the end of the regular season. It has been clinched. So strictly tonight and tomorrow night at Road America Martinsville, Schneider simply just racing for wins and stage wins for playoff points there. Now they already locked up the additional 15 playoff points winning the regular season title. Kyle Busch all over the back of Almirola, trying to pass him as they battle. Schneider's out to about a 2-second lead. Busch can make a quick pass on him. We'll have to see if Kyle can start to close that gap. Remember, the 99 and the 18 are the only 2 drivers that have multiple wins this season. Probably the biggest threat for the championship would be Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch behind the 99. Joey Logano's really turned it on in recent races as well. Could be your potential championship 4. They're all inside the top 5 here today at Road America. That Martinsville race will be under the lights tomorrow night as well. For the Xfinity 500, the first and only trip to Martinsville on this schedule. With a 2.7 second lead now. He's done a great job, again, taking care of his tires while still running some quick enough laps. Obviously, having the clean air is pretty good, and trying to get the car to handle as best as it possibly can, really. Makes it a lot easier to roll through these corners. Really no air sensitivity on the race car. Compared to, say, Kyle Busch right now, who's tucked right in line behind Eric Almirola. And it looked like Busch may have gotten out of shape as he is losing time to the 10 all of a sudden. Over half a second behind him, and Almirola's gapped him in those last couple corners by a couple car lengths. A little wider than normal, that corner. It really seemed like it cost the 99 anytime, though, so that's good. Fastest lap of the race that last time for Schneider still with a 2-minute, 5-second, .02 lap. Very close to a 2:05 or even a 2:04 second lap barrier lap, which is where Schneider wasn't qualifying. About 0.8 of a second quicker in his fastest lap in session, qualifying that second and final round compared to that last lap he just ran, which was his quickest in the race. Kyle Busch still has not gotten around Almirola. He gained one spot on pit road on Denny Hamlin, then he's hung on to third after the restart and has battled for second. He can get another spot on pit road during the stage 2 break. He'll be on the front row with Schneider, and that could be a huge difference maker. Schneider cannot afford to blow turn 1 with the 18 on his inside versus the 10 of Almirola. He knows he's faster than the 10 if he just gives himself time. We don't know if that's the case with Kyle Busch. He's been in traffic all day, continues to be in traffic up to this point. Schneider way too high. Not enough brakes there. Definitely messed up those, not even just that corner, even the corner after that, just getting him out of rhythm and not entering into the following corner on the correct line. Very lucky those drivers behind him are still battling and still allowing Schneider to pull away, even making very minor mishaps like he did that last lap. Not major by any means. He's kept the car on the racetrack. Just a little bit wider sometimes rather than others. And by sometimes I mean twice. Not like it's really happened much. The sperm worm, welcome to the stream. I am pulling for Ryan Blaney today, as always. I'll be pulling for him for the rest of the playoffs. And I think he's got a good shot to win tonight. I really do. Have to tune into the predictions episode later on today. In-depth fantasy analysis for tonight's race. Drivers you should and shouldn't have in your fantasy lineups. But yeah, I feel confident about Blaney. Having a solid day today. He's pretty good at Las Vegas. He's got the stats to back it up. And he's been good on the 550 tracks this year too, with 2 wins at Michigan and Atlanta on 550 tracks. Coming to 4 laps to go in stage 2 this time by. 4-second lead now for Schneider, tied for the longest lead of the race to this point. And Schneider has currently led every single lap up to this point as well. even though Almirola got around him on the initial race start, and considering the fact that Schneider qualified and started this race in third. Made that 3-wide move into turn 1 on the opening lap to get to the lead. Not doing anything special, just hitting his marks. He's got a fast race car. Not overdriving the car too much. Yeah, I hope the Packers beat the Niners too. See, the problem with that is, I wish the race was in the afternoon. I understand why they're running it at night, because it's just way too hot this time of the year at Las Vegas. I mean, we saw during the start of the Xfinity race, it was still 94 degrees yesterday at the start of the race, and that it was like literally 2 hours before it got dark outside in Vegas. So that's like the end of the day. It wasn't even like middle of the afternoon. So I understand why. What I don't understand why is, if you're going to make it a night race, why is it not on a Saturday night? Like, why is it on a Sunday night? And it has to be because of the ratings, but at the same time, you're going up against Sunday Night Football, where I feel like you could have it on cable television if it was on a Saturday night on the big NBC, which would help your TV viewership even more than if you were having it on a Sunday night, competing with Sunday Night Football, and it's on NBCSN and not the big NBC. That's just my personal opinion. You know, it doesn't make sense to me, but I do understand why it's a night race, because it needs to be if they're going to run Vegas this time of the year. Which they are moving it back a little bit later in the season next year, and that will help with the heat, that maybe they can make it an afternoon race next season instead of a night race, because it'll be about a month later in the year, but we'll see. I mean, they already moved it back once. I mean, it was a month earlier, or at the beginning of September, and now it's at the end of September. Next year will be about the middle of October. Schneider out to a 5-second lead now on Eric Almirola and Kyle Busch. Still taking good care of his tires, only used one set. Not going to run into any issues by using more than 8 sets of tires today, with it only being a 50-lap race anyway, so you can be aggressive in the sake of taking 4 tires whenever you can. Because Logano, he runs really well at Vegas. Yes, he does. All the Penske guys really are really good at Vegas. Logano and Keselowski have wins to back it up versus Blaney, but all 3 of them are really good at this racetrack. And this year, Blaney's the best Penske car. He's got the most wins for Penske. He's the highest in the point standings, even in the regular season for Penske. That's why I have more faith in him tonight than previous years compared to Logano and Keselowski at a track like Vegas. We'll see. Props to Eric Almirola holding off Kyle Busch in a situation where he needs a lot more points than Busch, versus Kyle being locked into the playoffs on multiple wins this season. This will be the final lap. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles, and then we'll go back to that normal camera for the rest of the race. I actually hope the 49ers beat the Pals. Just to rub it in my face. Oh my gosh. Might have been the worst corner we've had so far today. Schneider lost over a second of his lead in turn 2 that time. Back in the momentum, though, into turn 5. Packers have struggled against the 49ers over the last few years, so I would not be shocked if San Francisco wins. I actually think they're the favorites going in, honestly. If I were putting money on the game, I'd put money on the 49ers versus the Packers. And that's as a Packers fan. Especially with it being on the road, too. That only worsens the Packers' chances with it being on the road. I think the 49ers have a very much better defense. I don't trust the 49ers offense as much as the Packers, but because I do not trust the Packers defense whatsoever. And yes, they had 3 turnovers against the Lions last week, but it's the Lions, and 2 of those turnovers were Goff literally just having the ball slip out of his hands in the rain, and it didn't even get knocked loose by anybody, so I don't want to say that that was all Green Bay Packer defense that caused those turnovers, because it certainly wasn't. Final lap of stage 2. Schneider trying to sweep the stages yet again this season. This will be his 34th stage win of the year if he can hold on to the next lap. Packers, baby, even though I'm an Eagles fan. Yeah, I mean, we're not playing any team in your division, so I guess you could kind of go for whoever in that game. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Stages are 11, 11, and 28. Yes, they are. Final stage definitely going to be more than twice the length of these first 2 stages. That's one thing that's going to be interesting. We have not had a caution for incident so far today, so if we do end up having green flag pit stops, will that be where the money stop will have to take place? And when to make that stop as well will be a huge decision maker. Remember, Schneider led every lap in a race at Sonoma earlier this season as well. And he has the capability of being able to do that again here today. He's led every lap through the first 2 stages. We'll see how fast that pit crew is, especially knowing Kyle Busch has a fast pit crew in this one. And he's now inside the top 3. Coming off the exit of the final turn and up this gigantic hill back to the start-finish line. Keegan Schneider has swept the stages at Road America, stage win number 34 on the season, and stage win number 41 on his career. Unbelievable. Give me those points. Like the Eagles, won my Super Bowl bet when I betted for the Eagles against the Pats, so there you go. Rodgers to Raiders. Pump the brakes there, pump the brakes. Derek Carr's playing pretty good to start the season. I have him on my fantasy team. He's one of my backup quarterbacks. Kyler Murray is my starter. He's going to be in scoring my points more often than not. But just in case, got Derek Carr in there. Not a bad backup. Kirk Cousins as well, so pretty set on my quarterbacks. I'm 2-0 in my fantasy league, by the way, as well. So you guys think I'm good at NASCAR fantasy, football fantasy, I'm right there, too. I know more about NASCAR, though, I will say that. And I'm more passionate about NASCAR, so therefore I should probably be a little bit better. But I'm good at both. So entering the final stage of the race now. BJ McLeod up to 7th as he finished 8th once again at the end of the stage. Green flag back in the air. 6 stage points for McLeod today versus 0 for Boyer. So that puts him into the final stage. 22 points below Boyer now. Boyer's been right around 20th most of the day. Schneider won the race off pit road and will lead the field into 1. Not going to overrun the corner this time around. A lot safer. Almirola hangs on to second. Hamlin to the inside now off of turn 1 underneath Kyle Busch. No adjustments that last pit stop again for the 99. Car's been bad fast today. This race is too easy for me. You gotta do it with your eyes closed. My goodness. That'd be terrible. Never say never. This race is not over yet. We are still 1 pit stop away from the finish as we're in the final stage. Got 25 laps to go at the time of this one going green. I guess it's a 52 lap race today. It was scheduled to be 50. Now it's scheduled to be 52. I guess NASCAR's just adding laps for us. I don't know why they did that, but okay. It was going to be a one-stop race to the end anyway, so I guess it didn't really change it too much. So I guess in the end, it's still only going to be 10 laps shorter than the regular racing. Kyle Busch was able to fend off Hamlin and remain inside the top 3. Hamlin, Logano still 4th and 5th. I mean, the top 5 really has barely changed today outside of Kyle Busch getting up to 3rd at the end of stage 2 after being 5th, or 4th rather, at the end of stage 1. Him and Hamlin swapped spots. That was it, though. Very difficult racetrack to pass. It is not only long in length, but very narrow through every one of these corners. Difficult to run side by side and obviously then complete the pass as well. Part of why we haven't seen any lead changes today either. Victor has performed highly well. Remember, backwards pit stops at Road America where you have to service the left side of the car before the right side, where at most racetracks and even most road courses still have to service the car on the right side before the lefts. Almirola gained a little bit of time into turn 1 there. Have they made adjustments to that 10 car to get a little bit quicker now that we're in the final stage? Knowing that Kyle Busch was likely faster than him by the end of stage 2, he just was holding him up and was able to hang on to second. Allowed him to restart on the front row again with his fast stop to at least maintain his position in the pits. Schneider down to first gear that time, got a really good launch off the exit of the corner, getting the car to stick. And he kind of gaps Almirola back with those few corners once again as they now enter into turn 8. Now into the long turn 9. Mental math, what's 10 plus 9? I mean, I kind of already do math, just trying to strategize in my head, you know, when to pit. And even, like, trying to keep track of the points for everybody throughout the course. If they like the playoff battle, we're seeing for that final spot between Clint Boyer and BJ McLeod. McLeod 22 points back coming into the final stage, and he's been consistently 10 to 15 spots ahead of Boyer. If he comes in single digits behind Boyer into Martinsville tomorrow night, that is going to be very fun to watch what those two can do. That's barring not somebody below the cutoff line going to victory lane. Chase Elliott's been top 10 all day in this race so far. We know he is very good on the road courses. Can they strategize their way to the front? Still 1 pit stop left. We have not had a caution for incident yet. We have never gone caution-free of an incident in a NASCAR Heat 5 Cup Series race. And as far as the season goes, we have had at least 2 cautions for incident in every single race. So we haven't even had a race with 1 caution for incident, at least this season, on the Cup Series side of things on the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. So definitely a fast race pace early on. We're already past halfway, though, too. They're dropping the first gear in that corner. Really starting to back the corners up a little bit better, and that may be why Almirola and Kyle Busch are not losing as much ground as well. Schneider trying to take care of his tires, knowing that he's going to need them to last a little bit longer in this final stage. Tyler Burback, welcome to the stream. Love Road America, such a beautiful track. It is a very beautiful track. I can attest to that. Being there in person, I mean, it's basically in the woods. And in the middle of nowhere. Which is probably why they were able to make it 4 miles in length. Right back to Cappy, now Almirola and Busch that last lap. I should say this current lap. Just now finishing it. Do the national anthem while you race without messing up. You guys do not want to hear me sing. I don't think that's it. Can I do it? Probably. Can I put my heart and soul into it and try to give you guys a good performance? Likely not. Yeah, I've seen some. I feel like you have to be like really into like duets and stuff like that to, you know, really dig the national anthem yesterday. Like, I don't think it was bad, but it's just not like my style of music, so it's like, it was kind of for me. Still, I mean, they still got great voices, but yeah, I'm not gonna bash it. It was like it should be sang one way and one way only. I'm not that kind of guy. Like, you can sing it however you want to sing it. It's a song, for Pete's sakes. You know how many other songs have? You know how many like bands have done covers of other songs? The national anthem is a cover with each and every person that has tried to attempt to do it. It's never the same. So I applaud somebody for trying to put their own spin on it. Own twist on it. Trying to make it different. I was at speaking of Road America, when I was at Road America earlier this season, that little girl that sang the national anthem, there were literally these people that were sitting next to me, and they were like, at the end of it, I thought she nailed it. I mean, she sang it beautifully. She was one of the best national anthems personally I've seen in person. She nailed it. With the flyover and everything, obviously that always adds into it when you're at the racetrack. But I thought she nailed it, and then these two people to the right of me that were sitting right next to me, the one lady was just like talking to her husband. I'd have to assume it was her husband, and she was just like, "That's not a song that." She's like, "That's a song that you shouldn't make your own. That's a song that you should just stick right to the book." And I was thinking, I was like, for one, I thought she nailed it. For two, she's a little kid. I mean, you really think a 10, 12-year-old, however old she was, really, like, knows the history of the national anthem and, like, the origins of America? She's a little kid. I just don't understand why people get bent out of shape about that, especially when you're talking about a kid. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know any better. I couldn't believe that she said that out loud like she did. Like she wasn't like whispering it to it. Like, she just said it out loud. Like, everybody heard her. Like, what a jerk. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's very true. Speaking of the national anthem, gonna have some pre-race ceremonies and stuff in the next NASCAR game, so that'd be pretty cool to add to our live commentary and the realistic commentary with those races for sure. That's one thing I really liked about NASCAR Thunder 04 when we ran it. I was able to do the starting lineup and stuff. If I could do that for the next gen game as well, that's awesome. She's a jerk. Yes, she is. That guy wasn't much better though. He was talking to me throughout the course of the race, like whenever there was a caution or the stage breaks or something, about because that was when the whole like NASCAR was going to crack down on Hendrick Motorsports a little bit better, and he was like, well, they have to be cheating. He's like, they've been cheating the whole season. That's the only reason they won as many races as they were. He's like, they were complete garbage last year or whatever. And then like at the end of the race when Chase Elliott won, of course Chase Elliott being the most popular driver in NASCAR, and currently the fans were going nuts and stuff, so he made it to turn one after the checkered flag. He was like the one guy just outrageously booing. He's just like, they cheated, and then like he was arguing with this guy like 2 rows behind. No, not 1 row behind us, because 2 rows behind us was the spotters. So I'm pretty sure Chase Elliott's spotter in turn 1 probably heard this guy too. He's like, all they do is cheat. He's just like, he cheated today. He was definitely drunk by the end of the race. He was definitely not sober at the end of the race either, but those two, I guess they were meant for one another. Just between the two of them, between the man and the woman, I think they were just meant for each other. They did not bring off vibes of happiness. I feel bad for the kids if they have any. I'm going to go on the limb and say they don't have any kids because they were at the track, just the 2 of them. Why wouldn't you bring your kid to the racetrack? I mean, who knows? I could be wrong. They could have just made a bad first impression on me throughout the course of the race. But, over the 3 hours, I was sitting next to them from qualifying and then going back up there for the race. They were in the same spot. That I think they... I don't think that was just a first impression. I just think that's who they are. National Anthem was in Thunder 03. Yeah, I think I've seen gameplay of it. I personally never played NASCAR Thunder 03s. I would know that for sure. $19 laps to go in this race. Schneider leads by almost 5 seconds over Eric Almirola, who has been in second literally since the drop of the green flag at the start. As Schneider has literally been in the lead from the drop of the green flag at the start of the race. Still got 1 pit stop to go. They're within the fuel window to make it to the end if anybody wanted to short pit. And the nice thing, too, with this being a 4-mile road course for Schneider's sake, yes, we haven't had a caution for incident so far today, but because of how short the first 2 stages were, he never had to deal with lap traffic on this long racetrack. And still got a long ways before he even catches the first lap car during the start of stage 3 as well. A little hot into turn 8. Using all that excess asphalt runoff area. That is what it is there for, though. Exactly, and this has just kind of been the season for Schneider. Had a little bit of a dry spell going on with those DNFs a handful of races ago, but he's picked it up with back-to-back wins and has led every lap so far in this race today, trying to make it 3 wins in a row. That will be the second time this season he will have won 3 or more races in a row. Won 4 races in a row earlier on in the year. very early in the season. That was from races 4 through 7 where he won those 4 races. Largest lead of the race for the 99 as well, just over 6 seconds on Almirola and Kyle Busch. How much are they maybe saving their tires as well, though? Schneider did those first few laps and has really just put the hammer down and has pulled away from him over the last few laps of his own. I mean, just couldn't have a more perfect race. He's hit his marks. The pit crew, 2 for 2 in winning the race off pit road during the stage breaks. If it stays green to the end, Schneider's in a very, very good spot. Barring he can make it pit road without a speeding penalty, of course. I pitted once in practice, and I also pitted once in my session qualifying. So I've had 2 practice pit stops, assuming that we were going to have a chance of having to make a green flag stop at some point in the final stage tonight. Today, rather. Yeah. Spermworm down in the chat is being just like that guy that was sitting next to me at Road American. He's cheating. That's why he's won 16 races. He's on easy. This isn't a hard difficulty. That's why he's got 16 wins. His 900 horsepower package confirmed. 2014 package in this car confirmed. Everybody else is running 150 horsepower less. Oh, we've been dominating in laps led, but this is the largest lead of the race, and it's at 7 seconds, and we haven't even had a caution for incident as well, so it's not like he's been light years ahead of Almirola and Kyle Busch, per se. Just simply hit his marks, and he's had the clean air. That makes it easier to hit the marks. When cars have been behind him on the restart, he's done a great job not driving too much out of the rear view and messing the corners up either. Personally, I don't care how much horsepower the cars have. I just want the drivers to have a little bit harder time trying to handle them like they do in the intermediates now. You know, 750 horsepower is fine. I think the big problem with the intermediate racetrack racing in the Cup Series is just the dirty air issue. It's just the aero deficiencies. Obviously, they're more on display with the 550 package, but that's because you're mainly full throttle. You don't have to lift. So it's hard to beat a guy in a specific corner when you're just going full throttle. You're more relying on the car than what you are the actual, driver input with the throttle and the brakes, because you're not using that, brake input. And you're standing on the gas pretty much the whole time, at least for the first, 10 to 20 laps of the run. Then as the tires wear out, it does get a little more racy, but, even with the 750 package and lower downforce, the cars are in a dirty air problem. But I will say it is more entertaining to watch those races because the cars are slipping around. I like to see drivers on the edge of control even when they're super fast, and that's what made races like the Southern 500 a couple weeks ago awesome. What made Bristol awesome last week as well, just seeing those cars slide, seeing drivers have to fight their cars on old tires at the end of the race while they're battling for the win. You're not going to have a classic moment every single race of the season. And that is fine. You really think that the MLB has, in a 162-game season, puts on A-plus performances every single game of the year? No, they don't. Far from it. But it's those crazy great moments that happen throughout the course of the season every now and then, which makes them all-time classics. And, you know, that's just what NASCAR is. And even with this package, you know, obviously we've had finishes that are way better than others, even with the 550 package. And I still find NASCAR entertaining, you know, with the current aero package they have now. I just don't think it's the best. And I'd like to see a little more instability. So with the next-gen cars, if they're all right, you know, if they're going to run 550 horsepower again, if they're going to run 600, 650 horsepower like it seems like they're going to do somewhere within that range, I think it's fine. But what I want is less stability with the race cars. You know, if they're maybe going full throttle the first 5 laps, so be it. After 5 laps, the tires start to wear out a little bit, you know, and they're having to work the gas a little bit more, you'll see more passing. And obviously, if there's less aero deficiencies with the next-gen car, and they're more symmetrical and not maybe as skewed as what you see now with the Gen 6 cars, I think it will be better racing, even on the intermediates. Exactly. I mean, you can complain about the package all you want, but at the end of the day, if you're watching the race, you're watching it because you love racing. You know, and it's not just NASCAR. It's like that with any motorsport. You're watching a race because you love racing, because you either want to get into watching racing, because you are into watching racing. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. As far as the fan atmosphere of it goes. Well, Schneider might be on the edge of control himself here very shortly. At 31% tire wear on the left front, we know in these road courses on this game, when you get to 30% or below, it becomes a lot harder to keep the car under control. He has built up an 8-second lead on Aric Almirola currently. Again, his largest lead of the race continues to grow, and he still got a little bit before he even catches his first lap car of the race. Just 14 laps to go that time at the line. Pato O'Ward blew an engine. That's tough. He came in second, right? Wasn't he second in points going into the day? Newgarden was third, and then Blow was the leader. How many laps they got left in that race? I might have to tune into that if get this done in time. I am going to be on my way to the golf course and get around in before the race starts tonight. But I didn't set a tee time earlier in the morning, and I figured if I was going to go out there, it's going to be out there for over 5 hours, so I didn't want that. I didn't want to be late to the stream. I was like, I'll have time to go. It's only a 50, well, now 52 lap race, but still, it's not long at all. Ward was second. Tough break, man. First lap car is in sight for the 99 up ahead. Still has an 8-second lead over Almirola and Kyle Busch. 18 seconds back to fourth place Denny Hamlin, with Joey Logano in fifth right behind him. So we went green with 25 to go in the stage. So if Schneider were to split the stage in half, from there he would pit with either 12 or 13 laps to go. Probably 13 to go would be exactly half, because by the time he comes out of the pits, well, 12 to go. So we are right there, halfway through the green flag laps in this stage. 13 laps to go. But the car's still handling well, even on older tires right now. 23% on that left front. And he's still clicking away times and pulling away. 8.5 to 9 seconds ahead. He's backing the corners up well enough because he knows the tires are worn out. We go about 6 more laps on fuel, maybe only 5 more. He's going to pass his first lap car of the race, Chad Fincham, in the 49 into turn 5. Going to outbrake that 49 car that time. Fincham going to try to cross him over. First car to go a lap down in this race. It took till 13 to go before somebody ended up going a lap down. Other than the 2 cars that are already out of the race, of course. 2 drivers have DNF so far. Will this be the first caution-free race in the Cup Series on NASCAR Heat 5 in general for us? It is very well possible. Especially when you do consider the fact that we only have 11 more races left on the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode after this one concludes this afternoon. Oh, they're not even halfway? Cool. Yeah, I'll be able to watch it. I'll probably end up watching it while I'm at the course. Probably play it on my phone. Then when the race is over, I'll be playing some football on my phone while I'm playing. You definitely tell the rear of the car is sliding out a little bit more for Schneider, but still making his way through these corners pretty well right now. Down to 18% on the left front. It's the only tire even close to 30%. The right side's at 53 and 58, 51% on the left rear. Looking pretty good on tire wear with those other tires. Almirola closed that gap a little bit that last lap, though. He's definitely pushing a lot harder later in the run. About 7 seconds off the lead. Schneider just doesn't feel the need to have to pit. Can't tell who the next lap car is up ahead. It might be Quint Houff, but I'm not entirely sure. And it is Quint Houff in 37th. Pit this lap, you have no choice. I want to lead all the laps. Honestly, the reason why I'm staying out right now is because I want to lead every lap in this race. If I'm just shooting you guys straight. And we had 8 seconds. Had an 8-second lead. It's down to about 5.5, but we're still managing this gap. Schneider just can't make a mistake here, and you know, really so far he hasn't come close to it. So rush around Quint Houff before getting into the kink. Cleared him in a good spot. Yeah, Quint Houff's in a must-win situation if he wants to make the playoffs. Definitely not winning today. That means he's going to have to win at Martinsville tomorrow. Probably not going to happen there either. Hate to shoot you Quint Houff fans, but shoot you guys down at least. Kyle Busch is slowed up exponentially. He's 9 seconds off the race lead again. Almirola within 5.5, but I think Busch might have got caught behind the lap car of Chad Fincham, which is why he lost time to not only the leader, but to even second place Eric Almirola, who he was right behind for the longest time. We'll have 10 laps to go this time by. 12% left on that left run. It is true, Dark Crypto. I'd be down for them, you know, adding 1 point for leading a lap and leading the most laps being one more point. Heck, honestly, I think it's a good idea to reward playoff points for the most laps led. We're doing it for stage winners. How about if you lead the most laps, you get a playoff point too? Let me down in the chat if you actually think that's a good idea, if they're going to keep the current playoff format, giving whoever leads the most laps at the end of a race a playoff point. That'll carry over into every round of the playoffs, because I think that's personally a good idea. Kyle Busch closing quickly back in on Almirola again. Now he is losing a little bit of time. Probably struggling with his tires. Schneider fishtailing a little bit that time into the next hard braking corner. 10 laps to go this time by.
You're gonna blow tires, dude.
Here we go, 10 to go.
I need 10 more solid laps. Concentrate for me.
I mean, if you think about it too, though, like if you win the first 2 stages of the race, you're likely at the front most of the race anyway. But I mean, that would give those guys, instead of 2 playoff points, they'd give them 3.
See if we can manage our tire wear a little, alright?
I think it would help races like Daytona and Talladega. Now, granted, with this current package, you don't see a lot of train racing anyway. But let's say the next-gen car, that's not the case. You know, if you're running second the whole race, you might want that playoff point. You might want to try to lead the most laps of the race, and that might promote better racing, especially at a track like Daytona and Talladega, where you typically see a lot of different leaders.
Go easy on the tires.
And 1 playoff point could mean a lot, especially when there's 36 races in a season. You look at Kyle Larson this year, he's led almost 2,000 laps. How many races has he led the most laps in that could give him like an even, let's say probably 10 more playoff points than what he's already got? Making it even easier for someone who has dominated the year like him to make it to the championship for Harvick last year. Oh, man! Justin Haley pulled a block on Schneider to try and stay in the lead lap, and Schneider ended up clipping the wall.
You're gonna blow tires, dude.
And he better be careful, because that mistake cost him some time, and Eric Almirola all of a sudden is only a 1.5 seconds off the race lead, as they're coming to 9 laps to go. There's 1 lap car between the top 2 still. Schneider suffering in this dirty air behind Justin Haley. He can't get around him. Schneider going to stay out 1 more lap. Nine to go. Almirola stays out again as well.
See if we can manage our tire wear a little, alright?
Schneider a little fishtailing into turn 1 as he starts to pull away from Almirola again, who's still struggling. Got Haley in front of him yet. I think he finally passed Joey Gase. Justin Haley in 35th trying to block the leader while the 2nd and 3rd place cars are close in hand. Shined a little wide. And Almirola has made his way around the next lap car. Schneider has led every lap in the race so far. He's going to go a little wide. Oh, and Almirola gets into the back of him. Almirola was there. Schneider maybe checked up when Eric was not thinking he was going to check up, and he got into the back of the race leader. A 9-second lead is gone. Schneider very lucky that didn't spin him right around. A lot more lap traffic coming up, and that left front tire is down to 1%.
Go easy on the tires.
Schneider's got to try to make the car to pit road. Hopefully it didn't stay out too long. He's got to take it easy into this next corner, really trying to make sure that left front tire is going to make it. He's got 2 more turns now to make it onto pit road. So he continues to stay ahead of the 10 of Almirola.
Left side. Clear left.
Gonna hold up the 10 car now, and Schneider's coming into the pit lane, so is Almirola.
Slow down.
40 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. Down into the pits go the leaders. And that left front tire barely made it into this run. Almirola pits with Keegan Schneider. I believe Kyle Busch stayed out of the pits, so did Logano at least. So this is the first lap Schneider has not led today. 4 fresh tires and a full tank of fuel coming. Actually, not even a full tank. 3/4 of the tank just to make sure if we go to overtime, he'll be good to the end. So we're setting up here. 8 laps to go. This is the money stop, the first and only green flag pit stop of the race. You guys thought I was going to blow a tire there. 16-second pit stop flat, faster than any stop they had in practice or qualifying. Almirola comes out right behind him as cars are racing right around the leaders who are trying to get up to speed into turn 1. So now that we're seeing lap traffic for the first time today, what is it going to look like for these guys all of a sudden? Pitting a lap before Kyle Busch. It's just really going to depend, though. Can Schneider and Almirola get through the lap traffic better than, say, Kyle Busch right now?
Careful, still there. You got room, you're clear there.
I'd have to assume the rest of the leaders will pit this time.
All right, you're clear.
Pass there on Clint Boyer. Christopher Bell now right in front of the 99. 3 lap cars between the 99 and the 10. Bell is holding up Schneider. Schneider needs to get around Christopher Bell pretty quickly. Just makes the pass into that corner. That was turn 7. A lot of hard 90-degree turns here at Road America, left and right-handers. Most of the 90-degree turns are left, but there are some that are right, like turn 1 and turn 7. Schneider starting to get away from Almirola again. Kyle Busch is bringing his way down to pit road. Schneider entering the king. Caution is out. Caution is out at Road America for the first time today with just 8 laps to go. A lot of drivers were on their way to pit road. And BJ McLeod's got to cycle up to 3rd now because of that.
Be ready.
So that's going to bunch Schneider and Almirola back together again. Green flag back in the air, and we have just 4 to go at Road America. And a tough break for Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, who are running 3rd and 4th all day long. They are now going to restart outside the top 8. McLeod to the outside of Almirola into turn 1. He's trying to go for 2nd. Almirola will block him off. Schneider back to the lead again. Hangs on to it through the first 2 turns. Almirola actually beats Schneider back to the gas off turn 2 as the 10 car made more adjustments to try and close on the 99. Oh, Almirola just beat Schneider in turn 5 as he gets to the inside. Schneider sends it into turn 6. He's going to try to block up the 10 car. Patrick Chatterley, welcome to the stream. How about Jimmy Johnson up to 4th place? Trying to get himself in contention. Our first and only caution for incident today flies with 8 to go. And a restart with 4 laps left. Almirola already tried to use the bumper on Schneider right before those green flag pit stops started. For the drivers that pitted that lap, which would have been the top 8 on the restart, how beneficial is that for them? To get this track position right back again. Schneider's led all but 1 green flag lap today. Coming to 3 laps to go, but that is still 12 miles around this racetrack. This thing is not over yet. Almost 2 seconds ahead of Almirola at the start-finish line. This could be a major point stay for BJ McLeod, who is in 3rd. Came in 28 points below the cutoff line. He was 8th in the first 2 stages. Boyer got 0 stage points total today. And he's been right around 20th most of the race. Who knows where Boyer's at now? He was one of the cars that did not pit before the yellow as well. So he might be even further outside the top 20. Who knows? Schneider's just got to continue to hit his marks as he has all day long. Just try not to push that car too hard. McLeod is still putting pressure on Almirola for position. Doing a great job on the guy who's ran 2nd all day. If BJ can get around Almirola, does he have anything for the 99? Wide entry into the following corner into turn 9. Big bender. Now heading to the kink in turn 10. Two seconds is the gap between 1st and 2nd. Will they make it back to the white flag? If they do, the next flag would end the race, whether it's the yellow or the checker. Still just 2 drivers out of the race. Not sure who brought the caution out. Schneider a little wide in that finishing corner. That's going to cost them a lot of speed down this longest straightaway of the racetrack as they come to 2 laps left.
Here we go.
Still lap time to the 2:05 lap barrier that last lap. Pushing hard into turn 1. Trying to get whatever time he lost in the corner prior right back again. Pretty steady through the first 2 turns on the current lap. Johnson still trying to hold up Harvick for 4th. McLeod still all over the back bumper of Eric Almirola for position as well. Schneider easing into the brakes into turn 5. Just not wanting to make a mistake. Pavement there in turn 8 as well. 2.5 seconds. Ashton G, welcome to the stream. It's not a good time to look at the chat there. Alright, made it through the corner. No mistake in the finishing corner this time. Very minor mishap the lap before. White flag will be waving, 1 lap to go at Road America. 4 more miles away from his 17th win of the season. In the second to last race of the regular season. A dominating day. Schneider has led all but 1 lap under green. Probably a few laps he didn't lead under caution as well, but in this 52-lap event, he has absolutely dominated in laps led, though he has not had more than a 9-second lead throughout the course of the race as well. Almirola and McLeod still within a half a second of each other as they battle for second. Schneider widening that gap out. No need for him to push into turn 5. Backs the corner up. This will be the 3rd road course win of the year for Schneider. Of the 5 we have raced so far. Two road courses in the playoffs at Watkins Glen and the Charlotte Roval. And Almirola for the 3rd time this year will finish 2nd on a road course, and for the 4th time this year will have a top 3 on a road course if he can hold on. Lead up to 3 seconds now. What about 4 turns to go? Coming off the final corner, 4 seconds is the gap back to 2nd place. Using the curbing off the exit to keep the car on the track. Checkered flag is going to wave. Keegan Schneider will get win number 17 on the season, career win number 22.
Great job, driver. Checkered flag.
3rd in a row, the 2nd time he has won 3 or more races in a row this season. And the dominant season continues. And now time for the victory celebration. I don't think we have a wide enough front stretch at the pit wall there to do a burnout, but we'll see if we can do it without hitting the wall. Oh, hang on. Might have to just do a drag style burnout. We're trying to get the car to turn, and it's not wanting to turn without me fishtailing into the wall. There we go. Oh, well, we cooked the engine before we were able to get the car to turn that time. The engine is demolished. Trying to give the drag style burnout as much as he can. Down the straightaway, there's smoke in the cockpit. Man, oh man. And we'll have to take a look at the finishing results to today's race. There's a look at the top 10. Keegan Schneider winning both stages and the race. Eric Almirola finishing in 2nd. Came in 80 points above the cutoff line. He'll expand that today as well. And by quite a big margin, considering he was not only 2nd in the race, but he was 2nd in each of the first 2 stages as well. Solid day for Almirola. Qualified 2nd too. BJ McLeod ends up finishing in 3rd. Solid run. He was 8th in both stages, so 6 stage points. 3rd in the race finishing order. Jimmy Johnson 4th. Kevin Harvick 5th. Joey Logano 6th. Ryan Blaney 7th. Kyle Busch back to 8th. Unfortunate for him, he had to restart further back. He stayed out of the pits just a lap too long and caught the caution, the only caution we had today for incident in a bad spot. By the way, with only having 1 caution per incident, that was probably the yellow, right? Well, no, that probably wasn't the yellow. I'd be shocked if that was the caution, because that actually looked like it. 42 car saved it, as well as the 20 of Eric Jones. But either way, Schneider gets the victory. Kurt Busch 9th and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. rounding out the top 10. Good run for him. Denny Hamlin fell back to 12th. Also on the bad end of that caution. And Clint Boyer finishes 24th. That means BJ McLeod is 1 point below the cutoff line on Clint Boyer heading into Martinsville tomorrow. 27 points gained today for McLeod. 21 points gained on the race finish. and then 6 points to 0 in the stages. Do the math. That is a 27-point gain for McLeod. And it is a race between Boyer and McLeod heading into Martinsville tomorrow night. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the start for the next race on the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. On the regular season finale, 1 point separates McLeod and Boyer for that final spot. Chase Elliott finished 19th. He was also on the bad end of that caution, unfortunately for him, because he was in the top 10 all day. So although he does gain on the cutoff line as well, Elliott mathematically will have a shot to point his way in. Alex Bowman finished even worse than that. He was not in the top 10 today to get some stage points. So not sure exactly how many stage points Elliott got, so I don't know exactly how many points he gained on Boyer, but he'll probably be within 30 or 40 points as well, so don't count Elliott out of it going into a track he has also won at Martinsville in his career. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. Enjoy the race tonight. Predictions video will be out before the start of the race as well for fantasy advice and analysis heading into the Vegas Cup race. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon into nighttime, and I'll catch you guys next time.